Yeah, you. Come here. Hurry. Before the boss hears us. This video is about how to ask your boss for a raise. You want a raise? Great. This will significantly increase your chances of getting one. Hey, be sure to stick around to the end of the video because I've got a ton of great ideas that I'll tell you about to help you through this process. Now, don't tell the boss. Let's go. Hey guys, my name's Sid Earl and I'm the president of Discovered Value, where our mission here is to give you strategies to become a better dental professional. We do that by helping you find value in what you do every day so that you can improve yourself, your team, and the patients you serve. If you're new here, click that subscribe button, then hit that bell at the top and it'll notify you every time I drop a new video. Now stay tuned, we're ready for how to ask your boss for a raise. In the last 20 years, anytime I'm asked for a raise, it usually starts with a few lines leading something like this. Come in.
Hi, I wanted to maybe set a time to talk to you about something.
Anytime I hear that, it's usually when the floor of my stomach drops. I feel like I'm in this crazy ride that I'm about to drop 50 floors to my death, screaming the entire way down. Have you ever been on the Tower of Terror at Disney? Yeah, something like that. So typically an intro like that leads to something like this.
I really appreciate you meeting with me about this. I haven't had a raise in a while. Can I get a raise? My rent just went up. I really need a pay raise. Can I get a raise? I sure do everything around here. I think I need to be paid more.
Has this ever been you? Although some of these comments may be true, it doesn't give the manager, the owner, the doc a real reason to give you one. In fact, it kind of creates this adversarial situation where you feel like you're in this tug of war for money, where there really isn't a benefit for both. In reality, you don't know if the practice can handle the increased expense. So this idea of asking for a raise, let's flip that on its head. Let's try some new ideas and let's see if we can be successful at it. So based on that demonstration, let's propose an idea that's radically different. It's totally different than what was demonstrated. Let's figure out a way where if you create value for the business, then you get to share in some of that value. So how do we create value for a business? It's in one of two ways. You either bring in more revenue or you cut expenses. What does that do? Then that creates additional profit. That's where the sweet spot is for this whole idea, is now you get to share in that increased profit. So let's take the first option of the demonstration of you just asking for a raise. What's happening there? Are you driving in additional revenue? No. Are you increasing expenses? Unfortunately, you are. So what does that do to profit? That drops the profit. That's not something that you want to have happen. And that's what creates the adversarial situation for you just simply asking for a raise. How do we actually do this? How do we take that idea and then create it and implement it? Well, let's start first with an expense saving idea. Why? Because it's really simple. And let's take something that we use every day. Dental supplies, for example. Let's say you were able to find a way to cut $1,000 per month off your dental supply expense. Now, let's ask ourselves those same questions. Did that drive in additional revenue? No. Did it cut expense? Oh yeah. So if I cut $1,000, guess what happens? That $1,000 goes to the bottom line in additional profit every single month. That's a big deal, and that's something that can be shared. So if you found a supplier where you could see those types of gains, if you made sure that you were making the change wasn't going to affect how you were providing care for your patients, if you managed the transition, if you figured out a way to track those savings from month to month so that you can calculate a benefit that you can share, would it be a crazy idea to propose that to your boss and share in those benefits? Of course it's not a crazy idea. That's a big deal. That's something you're bringing to the table. And if I'm a reasonable manager, a reasonable owner, I'm going to make that deal. Why? Because it benefits me and it benefits you. And guess what? It's hands off for me. You make that happen. And that is a go-getter employee. So now the how question is, how in the world do I actually make something like this happen? Well, if you go to my website, dentalsupplycheckup.com, request a free consultation, and you and I together will put together a plan that'll help you. I'll help you get a quote of supplies that you can put together. I'll help you put it in a format that you can present to your boss. I'll help you put it together in a way that you can track it each month. And lastly, I'll even give you some things to say to your boss to increase your chances of success. Now, you better do it now before you forget, or you think you can't do it. I know you can do it, and I'd be honored to help. So, the overall idea is to create additional profit for the business, and then you share in that additional profit, assuming, of course, that you're the one implementing it and managing it. But lastly, what if I'm not responsible for the dental supplies in my office? Well, I thought you might ask that question. So that's why down in the comments below the video, I've included a link, at least 10 other ideas that can create some additional value for your business, and then you can share in those. So if you have some successes implementing some of those strategies, by all means, please include it in the comments section so that we can encourage each other that this process does work. Till next time, thank you so much for being here.